Guys, to another episode of ABL Sports Today. We're here with Cam Wright, NFL draft prospects. Thank you to Hometown Hero Agency for putting this interview together. So, Cam Wright, linebacker from Delaware State. How does a kid from Northern California get to Delaware State?
It was a long journey, honestly. Coming out of high school, I didn't have any offers, so I took the JUCO route. And being from Northern California, you have a lot of options of which JUCO to go to. I was blessed to be able to be recruited by the legendary John Beam. God rest his soul. And I did my freshman year there, and then I had a cousin who took a linebacker coaching job at Contra Costa College, also in Northern California. And after my time there, I was blessed enough to land the offer at Delaware State. And it was my only Division One offer, so it was a no-brainer to commit instantly.
100%. So before we get to Delaware State, can you explain your 1 year with Laney, like playing for a legendary JUCO coach like John Beam?
Yes, sir. Being able to play for John Bean was definitely a blessing. Coming out of high school, it introduced me to really what the college football world was like. Like when I ended up transferring and going Division 1, I didn't have an issue adjusting at all because the structure that we had at Laney College, it was the same as when I got to Delaware State. I definitely learned a lot. There were some growing pains for sure, being a young kid coming out of high school, trying to get adjusted, but it definitely set me up for success later on.
Yeah, so then you transfer to Delaware State, your first year there. It's a lot of, battling out for a spot, just getting your name out there, getting the coaches to know your name. The
Yes, sir.
second year, you kind of had a starting spot lined up, but then you get injured like a game or two into the season, and then
Yeah,
the season doesn't go well. Your coaches get fired, but then another legend comes in, and this
yes,
legend's Deshaun Jackson, your new coach.
yes,
So
sir.
first off, explain the introduction of Deshaun Jackson, like kind of like the opening kind of couple weeks of having him as your coach and like how your 2025 season went, because it was definitely your best season of college ball.
Yes, sir. I mean, I remember I was at home. I looked up, there were some rumors on Twitter saying Deshaun Jackson, essentially next head coach Delaware State. And I seen he was doing a podcast with LaShawn McCoy. So I'm like, man, that man
Gotta
busy.
watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, that man busy. Like, he not about to come coach us. Like, what they
He's got
talking about?
enough money. He doesn't need to coach.
Yeah, yeah. So then he took the job, and I was like, shoot, okay. I said, I guess this is what we're doing. So he came in, first team meeting went well. He came and introduced himself and basically let us know what his mission was from day one, out the gate. His mission was to come in and win right away. We weren't waiting, and to get us to the next level and help us pursue our dreams and our aspirations with football. Um, Definitely one of my harder off seasons, for sure. I mean, from the last coaching staff compared to this one, I mean, spring ball,
Tough practices.
yeah,
I
spring
mean,
ball,
he played under Andy Reid, one of the most notorious tough coaches in the
yeah,
NFL. So
yeah. He definitely tested our mental toughness for sure. But me being a kid from California, I was used to that coaching style as well. So, definitely didn't break me. I mean, I was this stuff I've been going through since I was young. So, but yeah, it was definitely one of my harder off seasons. I mean, summer workouts. Yeah, he had us getting after it for sure.
100,
And
100%. And also like he had a couple other pretty like notable NFL guys on his coaching staff too, right?
yeah, yes, sir, definitely. He brought in Clinton Portis as our running back coach. Eugene Chung was our O line coach. Martin Bayless, our older guy, he was our special teams coordinator. Sammy Parker, also NFL guy. He was our receiver coach. I don't want to forget anybody or miss anybody, but we had a lot of NFL guys on the coaching staff for sure, which is a true blessing.
Oh
Definitely.
yeah. And then so this 2025 season, you don't start right away, but then a couple injuries happen, and then you get your spot and you get your chance. Your opening game, your first game starting, you get 9 tackles. Just kind of, and that was kind of the buildup from like you had 2 years in JUCO, 2 years at Delaware State already, and it builds up to that. I mean, how great was that game and just like kind of like getting
Um,
that spot that you felt was yours?
Man, it was a blessing. Honestly, everything I dreamed of. It was my first Division 1 start. Um, I remember one of my coaches, he kind of asked me like, um, well, he didn't ask me, but he kind of just was encouraging me, making sure, you know what I'm saying, like my nerves weren't high. And I told him like, Coach, I've been doing this a long time. I just been waiting for the day, for the opportunity. So he was like, okay, well, handle your business. So went out there and did exactly that. And just as I was going through the game, it felt normal because just the way I prepare throughout the weeks, even the games where I wasn't starting and I was just a rotational guy, like I always prepared as a starter. So there wasn't any like major adjustment I had to make going into that week. I just remained the same man um, throughout each week of practice. So it was just another day in the office, really, and I got to showcase everything I've been working for.
Yeah, another thing I want to bring up is in our pre-meeting discussions, you mentioned you had a game against Norfolk State, I believe it is, Mike Vick
Yeah, yes,
school. So
sir. Yes, sir.
Jackson versus Mike Vick, and you said
Yes,
the
sir.
media coverage for that game was like absurd. Like it
Yeah,
was crazy. And that's probably the closest, it's going to get at Delaware State to the NFL in terms of media exposure. So explain that and that being your first big game to like kind of like the whole team can kind of show out to the world because everyone's like a lot of people are watching this game.
yeah, definitely. It was crazy. Excuse me. Actually, that week we had First Take come up to our campus. So Stephen A. Smith, Cam Newton was up there, and they had us like in the background, the whole football team, being like the hype guys and everything. And then I think right after that, we jumped on the bus, headed to Philly. There was a bunch of fans waiting for us at the hotel. It was crazy. And then actually playing in the game was even crazier. Like just walking out the tunnel, I was like, man, like it's everything I dreamed of when I was a kid. It's like I'm living it in real time. We had Meek Mill on the sideline. He was in our locker room as well as Marshawn Lynch, which is somebody who's I grew up going to his football camps, and my family is pretty connected to his family as well. Um, and yeah, it was just a crazy full circle moment. Cam Newton was out there, a bunch of other celebrities probably can't think of right now, but
Yeah.
man, it
They
was
were
it
there.
was it was wild.
Yeah, and also I want to circle back to something. So you said you weren't phased by the hard coaching from Deshaun Jackson and his staff. And
No,
when I met you before, you mentioned how involved your dad was in your football journey, your dad being your hardest coach ever. Like how much of an impact has your dad had just all the way from like high school when you started to like kind of now when you're preparing for the NFL?
Actually, I thank God for me being able to have my dad in my life. Like I mean, from day one, the first thing I ever picked up was martial arts, karate. Just from watching him spar in the garage in his free time, and ever since I picked that up, he just anything I wanted to do, like he was full fledged, invested into it. Whatever sport I wanted to pick up, he was on it. So I mean, from when I started at 8 years old, he was my first trainer. I mean, he worked me to
The
tears.
first
Like,
and toughest, right?
yeah, he worked me to tears from a young age. So as I got older, it kind of was just brush it off. Like it's another day in the office. Like he definitely is a big reason of why I am where I am today. Definitely the foundation for sure.
100%. And also, so now we're going to go back to kind of preparing for the NFL. So right now you're training for the NFL draft right now. You guys had your pro day. Um, and you got NFL coaches, which is kind of rare. Like you have players that became coaches, so they kind of know. They know
Mhm.
all the politics of it. They know what to expect. Has it been a help kind of having your coaches kind of tell you, hey, what's going to happen? Also, all your coaches, vastly different kind of picks in the draft. Some were first rounders, some were late rounders, some were undrafted, mid rounders. So has it helped having kind of an NFL type coaching staff and preparing for the draft? And just explain your process in preparing for the draft as well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, just from my strength coach, Ed Page, I know he did some time in the league with the New York Giants as a strength coach. So just being able to have that resource and train with him, I didn't have to go to LA or Houston, Florida, all these other places to train for my pro day and everything. So, I mean, having him is a blessing. Learned a lot from him as well as coaches on the staff and just getting us other opportunities to get recognized. Coming from a smaller school, we only get so much coverage, so being recommended to showcases and even I got some of my teammates got into local pro days and things of that nature. It's definitely helped for sure, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Okay. Last question before we switch into our next segment. Um, for any NFL For any NFL scouts or general managers that might be watching this, what do you want them to know about Cam Wright, linebacker from Delaware State? The floor is yours.
Um, Discipline, work ethic is unmatched. I can come in and make an instant impact. A guy who comes with energy every day. I love what I do. I'm dedicated to what I do. I'm always looking to get better. You're definitely gonna have to kick me out the facilities at times. Like, I mean, I'm honestly just dedicated to my craft, and whatever I can do to be a part of the team's success.
100%. Um, and so we're gonna switch to a new segment now. We're gonna do 10 rapid fire questions for you. Um, just down the list, and yeah. So number one, favorite pregame song.
Ooh, Sleepwalking by Mozzie.
Nice. Who is your biggest inspiration in life and why?
My dad, just seeing everything he overcame, it inspires me every day.
Yeah. All right. If you had to change sports, what sport would you switch to?
Boxing, for sure.
Yeah. If you could have a workout with any athlete of any generation, who would it be?
Ray Lewis.
Awesome. Um, Favorite sports moment as a fan of all time?
Ooh, uh, I say the Beast Quake. Beast Quake.
Yeah. Favorite personal sports moment, so one you did.
Um, my first start this past season,
Yeah.
for sure.
If you met your sports hero, what would you ask him?
Um, what kept you going on the hard days?
Dream brand or endorsement to have?
Nike.
Nice. What's one thing people like wouldn't know about you that you like they wouldn't expect you of you?
Uh, I love to get out in nature.
Nice. And then biggest goal as of right now.
Graduated with my master's degree this May, which I'm
Yeah.
finishing up.
And then kind of one last bonus question. How has Hometown Hero helped you out so far? Because I see you're wearing the shirt right now.
Yeah, gotta represent. The link is still up in my
It'll be
Instagram.
in the description of this video as
Yes,
well.
sir.
So
Yes, sir. They've helped a lot, honestly. Made my family happy, supporters as well, to be able to um, buy something that represents me and where I come from and just my whole background. Like, I got a whole village behind me, so when I was able to drop these shirts, like everybody was excited and wanted to grab one. I mean, the love I received from back home, community members and everything, it was crazy. Sure.
shit, I might have a shirt on the way pretty soon.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
thank you, Cam, for doing this interview. His merch will be linked in the description along with Hometown Hero. Once again, thank you to Hometown Hero for setting this interview up. Cam, I wish you best of luck. You're gonna be a beast in the NFL,
Yes,
and
sir.
good luck in the NFL draft and the summer and training camp and stuff.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. It was a pleasure.